Let's bring in all of the action ahead of the 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time start. I'm joined by our Washington correspondent, Annalise Nielsen. She is in Georgia, as well as former White House Chief of Staff and now Bondi Partners consultant Mick Mulvaney, live in Washington, D.C. Good to see you both. We've laid out the rules. They're very stringent. It is a TV audience only, so there is no one in the room except for the moderators. The staff are not able to interact. Annalise, this might make it very different from the last time these two men were on stage. Remember that?
We do indeed, and there's a lot of things that are going to be different. Even that was pandemic times, and so we've been talking about the fact that there might not be a handshake this time because there's so much animosity between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, but there wasn't last time because of COVID restrictions. Everyone was distanced and avoiding contact. So there's a few things we're watching for that will be different, but you've got to remember that with these debates, there will be millions of people tuning in. The chances of anyone really sitting through the whole 90 minutes is tough, and a lot of the time it's the clips the next day that will define the story. And so both of these leaders will be trying to avoid just any one slip up, any gaffe, any moment that becomes the defining one in a negative way. We're in a room full of Republicans here in Georgia. They've got a fight on their hands to win the state back. There's obviously a lot of enthusiasm in the room, and they know there's a lot of groundwork they have to do. We've been speaking to people here that have been signing up ballot count, ballot observation jobs. That's going to be a big push, and this is likely to be a tense debate performance between the two, but we'll have to wait and see how all those rules you just went through play out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Mick Mulvaney, let's bring in you in now. What is happening in the lead-up? We know that both the men have taken two very different strategies. Trump has been out there, the normal course of things for him, rallies, really revving up his supporters, where we haven't seen Biden at all for the last week.
Yeah, Biden has been at Camp David up in Maryland, about an hour outside of Washington, D.C., resting and preparing, supposedly prepping. And Donald Trump has been doing what Donald Trump does, which he's been going to rallies and fundraisers and so forth. But I got to tell you, and Annalise will back me up on this, there's almost a festival attitude, both here and in Atlanta. There's expectations, Laura, that this may be the second most watched television program in the country this year, after only the American football Super Bowl. Those are stunningly large numbers. Over 75% of the country says they will probably tune in for at least part of this program tonight. So it's just bizarre that politics has become this spectator sort of sport, but there's a lot of interest in what happens in the next 90 minutes, starting in about 15 minutes from now.
Yeah, that's right. Mick, tell me, when it comes down to the audience here, as you say, 75% of Americans saying they'll watch at least part of this. So when we say, one mistake, one slip up, the chance for that to go viral, it can really change the campaign. We're not overreacting, are we?
Not really. This is the type of situation where I don't think you can win tonight, but you could lose tonight if Donald Trump does something stunningly bad, or if Joe Biden looks like he's not mentally up to the job. It could be very, very difficult for either of the gentlemen to bounce back. That being said, the reason that we're doing this as early as we are, and this is by far the earliest presidential debate in the history of this country, keep in mind, neither of these men is officially the nominee of their party yet. That won't happen until July for Donald Trump and August for Joe Biden. But the general consensus is the reason they're doing it so early is in case it goes badly, the person who doesn't fare well tonight might have a chance to turn things around before the election in November in 4 months.